Alright, so this is going to be a video about Apple, and what a way to start off the new year. Yes, with a negative article, what a way to start off the new year. Well, Apple is actually killing dinosaurs, or trying to kill dinosaurs. And, no, I'm just playing with you, but really, Apple has released iOS 9. We all know it's for the 4S, iPhone 4S, and the iPhone, it's from the 4S and lower. Also, the iPad 2, I believe, got it. But the iOS 9, one of the big promises was it was supposed to fix the performance. I myself used to have an iPhone 4S a couple of years back. It ran great on iOS 6 and 5. iOS 7 ran pretty decent, pretty good, probably not as great as 5 or 6. And iOS 8 was a laggy mess on there. Eventually after that, shortly after that, I ended up getting rid of the phone, buying a new one after that. But the iPhone 4S was a very great phone when it came out. The battery life on it was terrible. Every day of it was awful. It got worse even after 3 years of using it. But the problem is with iOS 9, it didn't deliver Apple's promise of making iOS smoother on older devices. It actually made it much worse, and people are suing Apple over it up to $5 million, and I agree. Apple shouldn't. Apple, this is bullshit. The iPhone 4S 2011 phone. It's great that it's getting software, but that doesn't mean I'd rather have a phone that doesn't have software than a phone that gets software that's purposely getting rid of the phone. This is essentially malware at this point. These updates for the iPhone feel like malware. If they're just going to make the phone slower and laggier, what's the point of installing them? Sure, I read somewhere, some YouTube comment, some guy said his iPhone 5 was still running iOS 6, and it's very smooth till this day. I think that's a great thing, and yes, iOS 6 is pretty ancient, but the fact that his phone still runs very smooth, it's pretty good. Yeah, the problem is the iPhones need more features and all, which they're lacking, which the newer iOS versions add, but then people feel tempted to add these, to install these updates, and I myself included. Yes, a person like me installs updates early, reviews them, talks about them, makes news videos about them, whatever. But this is the problem with the iOS updates. Android phones, you know them, they get slower over time. Many of them do. I'm not sure about stock Android. I've heard they don't, but my tablet running CyanogenMod 12 has slowed down a couple times. I've just had to clear the cache and it's been back to normal and update some Cyanogen updates. Then it's fine. Or update the Cyanogen mod through the Cyanogen updates part of settings. Then it's fine, but the iPhone 4S 2011 phone. The good thing about iPhones used to be they don't slow down. You could use them for 3 years, and then after that they start to get slow. Once they get they always run great until they get their final iOS update, which iOS 8 was rumored to be the final one for the iPhone 4S. And people were surprised when iOS 9 was rumored or was released for the iPhone 4S. And what do I gotta say? Apple, at this point, you should release an iOS 9.5 or an iOS 10 or some apology update that fixes all this bullshit. Because if at this point you're just trying to get people to upgrade to their new phones, and it says up to 100 people prefer the old iPhones, like they like the glass design, maybe they like the 3.5-inch screen, you know. And Apple should stop trying to force people to upgrade to the newer phones. And if someone's locked into a contract, they can't afford to upgrade, or they can't afford the new phone, or they're locked in a contract and they can't upgrade then. This is annoying. They did the same thing with an iPhone 5S. They did the same thing with the 5S and older by putting these ads in the App Store that you have to click away on saying upgrade to the iPhone 6S. This is really annoying, and made even worse is if you don't install these iOS updates, you get this really annoying ass red icon on the settings app until you install it, and that really bothers you. That would bother the crap out of me. I remember if I had mobile data off on my old iPhone, you would see a red icon over the phone app, and that bothered the fuck out of me. But this is even worse. Apple, you used to be known for making quality products. Yes, they still are quality, but my opinion, the Galaxy S6 is more quality than this. The HTC One, more quality than this. HTC One M7 from 2 years ago, you don't see them They're still HTC phones are, yes, Samsung, they slow down over time. We all know that, but look at HTC. The HTC One M7 from 2 years ago, still getting updates. I doubt it will get Marshmallow, but Lollipop, all I've heard is it made the phone better. No slowdowns, no nothing. Yes, Android, we've had many problems with updates in itself, but this is one of my favorite parts about iOS. It just worked. But as it seems lately, Apple has been making a lot of stupid moves, tricking people into thinking their things are quality when, yes, they still are very quality, but I believe the quality is dropping after seeing shit like this. This is so this just bothers me so much. And Apple, if you really thought this phone was ancient, just discontinue it and don't make updates for it anymore. People will upgrade to their phone when they feel like it. Once the battery goes bad, once the screen breaks, once the buttons don't work, whatever happens to the phone, people will upgrade then, especially with iPhones, because they tend to last longer than Android phones. Normally people with their Androids, they slow down after some time and they don't want to use it anymore. And not all Androids are like that, but with the iPhones I've noticed they have not slowed down. That's why people keep using them after 4 years. Some people still have iPad 2s, still using them. Yes, they're pretty slow at this point, but what do I have to say with the iPhone 4S? Yes, it's very old at this point, 2011. It feels like 2011 at this point feels like I'm talking about something from the 1950s. It feels that old, but what do I have to say? At this point, Apple, you really should just make an apology update that will fix this, and don't just say it fixes it. It will actually fix it. Maybe bring it up to the smoothness level that it had on iOS 7. I know it's going to be hard to do, but it's better than this. Or at least, if you can't, allow a downgrade option back to iOS 6, or not iOS 6, but maybe 7 or 8. Just do that and people will be fine. This update, in my opinion, uh, I don't know what to say. Either this or I'm really pissed off with this, even though I don't have the phone anymore. If I had a phone that I was told was supposed to last me 3 or so years without getting slow, I would be pretty pissed if I saw something like this. And I've seen videos. It's much slower than it was on iOS 8. And each point update, which was said to make it better, has made it slower. You see, like Adrian Ison, he has multiple iPhone 4Ss. He'll update one, and then he'll not update the other, and he'll do a speed test of them. You'll see channels like that all the time doing stuff like that. And it proves that these updates are just bullshit. They're just talking. Yeah, they fix maybe a bunch of bugs which should have been fixed before, but in the end, I think this is still complete bullshit from Apple, and hopefully they release an update to fix this, or at least a downgrade option. That's all I really have to say. Hope you enjoyed this video. What are your thoughts on this? That's all I have to say, and bye.